What's up, everybody? Quancredible here, bringing you the review for the third chapter of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse, the Seven Deadly Sins sequel. And I'm really excited because like this chapter itself, it even had 30 pages. So it's like we're getting a ton of pages here for the very beginning, which is like really exciting because it's just that much more content for us. But this chapter it literally picks up right where we left off after Percival had defeated the giant wolf. We see like it's defeated. Donnie's getting patched up because he took like a blow to the back and all that. So like that's pretty much where we're starting off. And we do get to see Percival, and he has this like horrible wound across like his entire, essentially his like chest, stomach, midsection, everything. From his run-in with Ironside. Essentially, Elba is asking him questions about it while they are basically taking a bath together, just kind of like after the entire fight had happened. And it's really funny because in this moment, she doesn't really realize how old he is, which like makes it really funny later on because like even like I'm pretty sure like you guys as well as myself like when we first seen Percival, he didn't really look all that old, like because he says he's 16 but it looks like he's 10, so it's like, or maybe even younger just because of how short, and on top of that just how like absolutely innocent and just oblivious to the world he is. And what makes it even funnier is it's almost like this kid has inherited the like spirit of Meliodas, which is like really funny to me. But aside from that, nothing too crazy in this exact scene. Outside of Elba looking pretty nice. I mean, just saying. But yeah, nothing too crazy there. They do talk about like what are like sacred knights, and just kind of filling in Percival on just basically what they are in the world. And then he also tells her that he doesn't have any magical power. But I mean, myself as well as everybody else, I just would assume that he's only saying this just because he doesn't know. His granddad more than likely never told him about magical power, never taught him how to use it. Just because I'm pretty sure it was his granddad's intention for them to live up there peacefully, until Percival just wanted to travel and see the world on his own and just like figure everything out. Like in Percival's mind, he just doesn't have anything. And then after that, Percival goes back to the town where essentially they're throwing a big party for him, basically in honor of stopping the giant wolf. We get to see a couple funny scenes as a result of this. Like we get to see this is when we get the reveal of Donnie and Elba's age. They're both 16, and they find out that all three of them are the exact same age. So Elba's like really embarrassed that essentially someone the exact same age as her got to see her in such a way. It's also funny to me because I just assumed Donnie was way older. Like I assumed he was at least like in his mid 20s or something. Like just because he looks really old. Another funny thing that came from this is like just Percival running around asking people like where Ironside is or do they know anything about Ironside. He like screams it into the heavens, trying to get him to like come out. And it's like it was just really funny. Like I really do enjoy how Percival's character just is. And oddly enough, as a result of him like shouting out into the heavens, a sacred knight does actually appear. We don't get his name in this chapter, but he's like this weird dude flying in on a shield. And he just like drops down and has business with Percival apparently because the giant wolf from last chapter was his familiar. Like he was the one who like sent that wolf out. He doesn't really say what he sent it out to do or why he made it in the first place, but all we got from this is that it was his. And he also does claim to know a bit about Percival's dad, or like, well, we don't know how much he knows, but like he's like alluding to the fact that he knows some things about him. And the interaction between Percival and this Black Knight is really funny because like they don't, it's like even Elba and Donnie mentioned it that they're not on the same wavelength at all. It's like the Black Knight is just rambling, and Percival's like, "Tell me what you know about Ironside," as I count to a five, and they're just not connecting at all, which leads to them actually fighting. To where Percival sets it up to where, or at least Percival says, if he wins, you have to tell me about your father, and if the Black Knight wins, he just wants Percival to come with him. Not for sure exactly why. I mean, he does say he wants to like raise him and train him, but like probably for a more selfish reason. I doubt he's actually trying to help Percival.
Maybe.
Unless he could be, you never know. It could be a plot twist, and this guy could actually be secretly a good guy. But at the moment, I don't think good guys try to like eat old people and kids in their house with giant wolf. But who knows? I've been wrong before in the past. And with that, the fight does start. And right off the bat, Percival does charge at him, to which the Black Knight notes, like, like, where is your weapon? And he's like confused that Percival is challenging him barehanded. And like for any of you who may have forgotten, or for people that are just new to the Four Knights Apocalypse in general, like basically in the realm of seven deadly sins, like it's either you use magic or you use like a weapon. Like no one just fights straight up with just like barehanded all like that. It's typically accompanied by something, and usually like your weapon is what's supposed to draw out more of your magical power. So the fact that Percival doesn't have anything and it's not like he's really enhancing himself with magic or any kind of way is just a really odd way of fighting. And definitely you are severely limited as to how well you'll be able to do. King explained it really well in the first season of Seven Deadly Sins, like how having a weapon to channel your magic through essentially vastly improves your capabilities in combat. So Percival just being barehanded versus a Sacred Knight with a weapon is going to be a mismatch regardless. That being said, Percival does put up a good showing. The Black Knight is very impressed with how strong and fast he is. But essentially, he's still no match for him. Like he's able to, like, granted, Percival is able to dodge some of his swings, but then he still gets hit with this giant big ball part on the other end. Even so much as getting his whole face grabbed. And for me personally, if my face gets grabbed in a fight, it's pretty much over. Like if your face gets grabbed in a fight, you kind of just lost right there. But it's in this moment where the Black Knight is like telling Percival, like, look, like if you're gonna fight me, you at least use your magic at the very least, like, because this guy he just wants to enjoy the fight. He can't really get into it if it's not a challenging fight. To which Percival says he says the same thing he said to Elba, that he doesn't have any magical power. To which he is surprised, seeing as who his father is, because as we know, like his father had this weird cross-section magical power that could just blow things away. So for I guess his son to not have any would be really confusing. And then of course like myself, probably no one thought that he didn't have anything because he's the main character. Of course, the main character's gonna have to have some kind of crazy ability. But it's like in this moment when like he's getting beaten down that like we get to see a small moment from Donnie. And I was talking about it last chapter how Donnie's really grown on me. Like Donnie was ready to hop in there and like help Percival out, despite more than likely being absolutely useless in this kind of fight. But he was definitely getting ready to do something. But it's at that moment where we get like I'm assuming this is a flash. I don't know kanji, so I don't know like what this actually said. But like we get like this moment where we see Percival's powering up. Like we see some type of energy around his fist, like it blew the Black Knight back or something. So it does say right here next chapter unbelievable power, so hopefully we get to see some type of like look into what his ability is. And I was mentioning this last chapter where I was saying like this is one of the things that I'm really excited for with this series is the fact that like we get to see someone discover their power and like grow with it and train, and we get to see that entire journey, whereas in the original Sins, like everyone already had their abilities. Like there wasn't anything new to find out. Like these characters were already established. They're just like regaining past powers or improving on what they already had. So the fact that we get to be with Percival and watch him like venture out into the unknown for his abilities is very interesting. So next chapter, it'll probably either be Percival may possibly win with his new powers, or there could be a draw scenario where like he might be able to wound this guy with his abilities, or he might be able to like just get him to back off and then he like will leave. It's kind of up in the air on that one. As for what I think his ability is, I still am holding on to what I believe last chapter, where it could be some type of trajectory based ability or something similar to that, because it would make sense considering his dad is Ironside, so he could like he had those like blades he could like shoot out, which is kind of trajectory-ish if you look at it from like a shooting magical power or possibly shooting air pressure at people. Who knows exactly what he was doing, but it could be something along those lines. And the fact that he blew him back, maybe. I definitely want to know what you guys' predictions on what you guys think his power could be. Because like on the one hand, it has to be something that he would be able to easily figure out, and like it wouldn't be anything overly complex. Like his power wouldn't just be full counter. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be something just like that, because that was like taught to like Meliodas. So it wouldn't be anything along those lines, or it couldn't be like. It's like I doubt it's like Bond's ability where it's like snatch. Like I really don't think it's going to be any ability that we've already seen. I almost feel like for certain it's going to be something completely new. I mean, if it is something that we've seen before, hopefully they can like put another spin on it to make it feel fresh. But for me, I really hope it's something new. Um, yeah, but like I was saying, let me know what you guys think it was down below. Let me know how you guys felt about the chapter. Honestly, for me, this chapter was cool. I like the other two more than this one so far, despite getting more into it. I'd probably give this one like a 6.5, maybe 6. Yeah, 6.5 is not quite at that 7 for me. So like I was saying, let me know how you guys feel about the chapter down below. Let me know what you guys think his power is going to be. Make sure you guys like the video as well as sub to the channel for more Four Nights of Apocalypse content, because I definitely want to like keep doing this series, because I'm really am enjoying it so far. I really am. But aside from that, make sure you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you all in my next video.